Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Crystal here, and today we're going to talk about how to be present. So if you're excited about that, make sure you go ahead and subscribe because I am going to be doing a lot of videos, and I have planned out almost all of April, so I'm super excited. So go ahead and subscribe so that you can see like everything that I have planned, and I'm super excited. But today we're going to be talking about being present. So being present is so, like, it's not hard, but it seems to be a difficult thing, and it seems like it just seems kind of like weird and kind of like a thing that you have to work at. So I have been working so hard, probably for about 2 years now, maybe 3 years now, on like becoming a more present person because it makes me a happier person. So those kind of things include, like, sometimes I have to delete Instagram off of my phone. Sometimes I don't go on Facebook for months and months at a time because sometimes I find myself getting so caught up in constantly checking that I'm like, you know what, if I'm constantly checking, then I just need to delete the whole app off of my phone and get rid of it because I don't need to be constantly checking it. So that rolls right into my first tip, which is to leave your phone in your purse or in your pocket or wherever, in the glove compartment of your car if you can. Just leave it. And if you say, okay, it's in my purse, but I don't have the willpower to like stop myself from looking at it, what also helps is if you turn the volume all the way down to where it is not on. And so then you won't hear the constant notifications, first of all, or any kind of vibration. Of course, if you want to put like do not disturb, but have certain people like your mom or your dad or anybody that you think that might call you in case of emergency, then of course have them, and then have everyone else on silent. Another thing is, if you don't have that willpower, like I said before, sometimes I don't have the willpower to not constantly scroll through Instagram, so like I have to delete it off of my phone. And I know I can access it from my computer, so it's not like a huge deal, but it does help because I'm less likely to get on it on my computer than I am on my phone. And when I'm not, most of the time when I want to be present, I'm outside of my house, which I don't have my computer usually. So then I can get on Instagram sometimes when I'm at home, but not like I'm scrolling constantly all the time. Same thing with Twitter. Twitter will get you messed up because there's just so much. So definitely I say take the app off of your phone if you don't have the willpower. Like now I have the willpower to just leave my phone in my purse and just not worry about it unless someone texts me or calls me. But some people don't. Also, if you have that unlimited data, turn that data off and see how far you get, because turn the data off, turn it off, and then you can, that also will help you, because then you can't get on Snapchat, you can't get on Instagram, you can't get on Twitter, you can't get on Facebook, you can't get on nothing because you don't have data. So that's just the first tip that I have, is to leave your phone behind somewhere in your purse, in your pocket, in your glove compartment of your car, or wherever, and just be. Number 2 is to do something that interests you. So whatever that may be, just do something that's gonna get you interested and, I guess, like whatever like engages you into what you're doing. So for some people that might be like going to a museum and just like strolling around, and some people that's like not going to engage them, and some people might need to go to a cooking class and be actually doing something with their hands so that they can't touch their phone, or just pretty much a walk is a simple way that you could do that. Taking a walk in a park, going to a park festival. I'm really excited because summer's coming around, which means there's going to be a lot more festivals, and so I can go to festivals and go to free festivals, and then I can just be there and I am not looking at my phone. There's so many things to look at, so many things to see, so many things to check out. Some people even shopping. I like to go and just try on clothes and not buy any of it, but you know, it's something that takes your mind off of being on your phone. The third thing I would say is when you go do that interesting something, unless you're a certain type of person like me, I can do either one. I can be by myself and do something, but if you need to, take a friend, because sometimes I even get caught up and I'm trying to like record whatever I'm doing, which I should just be enjoying it. When you're there with a friend and you guys are both like, okay, we're not going to look at our phone and we're going to have fun, it is the most fun thing in the world. I am telling you, I have so much fun, especially when I'm with my friends. I have the best time, and they make me laugh, they make me smile. We are so much fun together, so to the point where I'm not even thinking about checking Instagram, checking Snapchat, being on Snapchat, any of that. And that might end up being a part of what you're doing. Like, you might decide to take a really cool picture, or you might decide to Snapchat something really cool, but it doesn't take up the majority of your time when you're with that person. So when you're with another person, it also can make you more of a present person, especially if you guys come together and you say, we're not going to be on our phones. And my last tip is very hard, but you need it, and it's to be vulnerable. And it's to be vulnerable with yourself if you're by yourself and you are just, because oftentimes when we're like constantly scrolling through Instagram or Facebook or whatever social media, it's because we're trying to cloud our minds, because when our minds are clear, there are all these things going on. But you have to be vulnerable even with yourself to shut that all out and be okay with there are things going on. And to help with that, it also helps to, like, if you have a journal, or if you don't want to have a journal, but if you just have a journal for those times and you write whatever it is, it helps you kind of clear your head, and it helps you to not just bog it down or cover it up, because when you have all these things going on and you're just constantly on social media, it's just kind of covering it. Instead, you want to kind of sort it out, and that's when your most creative or most well thought out ideas will probably come, because they're there waiting for you, but you just keep covering them up with more Instagram photos and more Instagram photos and more Instagram photos, and it's just not working. And also to be vulnerable to the people in your life, and that is so hard. I am still working so hard on that. Being vulnerable and telling your friends or your family like how you feel, it is one of the most rewarding things that you could probably do, but at the same time, it is so hard. It is so hard, but it also keeps you present, and it also will strengthen your bond with whoever you're talking to. So if you really think this person is your friend or that you can trust this person, you have to be vulnerable with them. And if you can't be, then you're either not being vulnerable with yourself, or you just can't trust them. They're just like a fun friend. They're just there for fun and you can't trust them. So being vulnerable is the easiest way to be present, because when you're with someone else and you're being vulnerable, or that person's being vulnerable to you about something that's happening in their life or something that they feel, there is no inkling to get on anything, because you're right there in that moment. It's something very real. So what you want is those real moments. In order to get those real moments, you have to be vulnerable and be willing to let other people be vulnerable with you too. Okay, so those are all of my tips for how to be present. And if you like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up, because I am being very vulnerable even right now. And just doing this is a vulnerable thing to do. I'm opening up to you in this camera through you for you to see. So I am really trying to do all of these things too. I've been working so hard. I want to be a person that is present at all times. So I really work towards that, and I even push the other people in my life to be the same way, whether they like it or not. But that's just me, and that's just what I want, because I want those memories, and Snapchat lasts 24 hours. So anyways, if you did enjoy this, really do give it a thumbs up, and subscribe. Make sure you leave me a comment down below and tell me how you plan on being present, or if you have any tips on how to be present too. I don't think I know everything about being present, but these are just some things that I learned in the couple of years that I've been trying so hard, and I'm saying you have to put an effort for this to be a present person right where you are. So I will see you guys very soon with another video, and I can't wait. Bye.